Have you ever looked at someone at the absolute top of their game and just wondered, how? What's the real difference between just being good at something and being truly great? Well, today we're gonna dive deep into that very question, using Robert Greene's incredible book, Mastery, as our guide. I think we all know this feeling. You're pulled in a million directions, your phone is buzzing, and it feels like you're just bouncing from one thing to the next. You're reacting all day instead of acting. It's so easy to just become a passive spectator in your own life. But what if I told you that that feeling is, well, it's not the end of the story. Greene makes this powerful argument that inside every single one of us, there's this higher form of intelligence, a kind of ultimate power just waiting. And the best part, it's not about being born a genius, it's about following the process. So, this power, this higher intelligence, it has a name. Greene calls it mastery, but what on earth does that actually mean? Okay, so mastery isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea. It's a very real state of mind. It's when you know your field so deeply, so intuitively, that you're not just following the rules anymore. You're so connected to reality that you can almost feel what's going to happen next. You can start to bend the rules, and even create new ones. I love this quote, because it just hits the nail on the head. We're all sculptors, and the raw material is our own life. But you can't create a masterpiece by just hacking away at the bulk of shown, right? You have to understand it first. And for us, that means that we have to look inward. Alright, so the whole Greene journey mastery, it all starts with one single, incredibly important first step, finding out what you are uniquely built to do. This isn't about chasing trends or opportunities. It's about looking inside yourself to find your true purpose. Here's the core idea. Greene says we're all born with this unique inner force, almost like a seed of who we're supposed to become. And this force pulses towards certain activities and subjects. That pull, that's your life's task. And getting back in touch with it is, well, it's everything. So you might be asking, okay, that sounds great, but how do I find it? You have to basically become an archaeologist of your own life. Go back to your childhood, before the world started telling you who you should be. What did you get lost in? What was the thing you did just fall in love with it, where time just disappeared? The clues are all there. And these moments aren't always some big dramatic revelation. For Albert Einstein, it was a compass. That's it. He was 5 years old. He was completely captivated by the mystery that needle, always pointing north, invisible force he could see in action. And that feeling, it's at the course for its entire life. Well, here's another good one. When Marie Curie was just 4, she saw scientific instruments in her dad's glass case and was just mesmerized. It was a world of pure mystery to her. Years later, when she walked into a real life for the first time, that exact same childhood feeling came rushing back, and boom, she knew she was home. And think about Leonardo da Vinci. He was mostly left to himself as a kid, so he just wandered the countryside, sketching everything he saw. Plants, animals, water. He was in that quiet, solo observation that the seeds of his incredible genius were planted. Okay, so you found your direction, you're pointed the right way, but that's just step one. Now comes the part that Greene says is the most critical phase of your entire life, the apprenticeship. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's not about what you learned in a classroom anymore. This is about learning in the real world. It means you have to be humble, you have to submit to reality, and learn the rules of the game from the ground up. Your pure hands-on work. Greene breaks this down into 3 stages. First, you just watch. You're like a sponge soaking up the rules, the culture, how things really work. Then, you roll up your sleeves and move into intense practice, drilling the fundamental skills over and over. And finally, once you build that solid foundation, you can start to experiment, to play, to make it your own. Charles Darwin is the perfect example. Before he got on that ship, the HMS Beagle, he was kinda lost and no real direction. But that 5-year journey forced him through all 3 stages. He observed relentlessly, he practiced the skills of a scientist day in and day out. And eventually, he started experimenting with his own ideas. He left as a boy, came back a scientist. You would say a transformation. Now during that middle phase, skills part, you probably heard of this number, 10,000 hours. Now it's not some strict scientific law, but the idea behind it is so important. It just highlights the truth that real skill takes a massive amount of focused work. There are no hacks, there are no shortcuts. And let's be real. A lot of that practice is gonna feel tedious, it's gonna be repetitive, it's gonna be boring. You'll have to learn to embrace that boredom, because that's actually where the magic is happening. That repetition is literally carving new pathways in your brain, making complex skills feel like second nature. And I really want this to sink in. This whole apprenticeship phase, it's not just about learning a skill. It's about changing who you are. It's forging a new you. Someone who's more disciplined, more patient, and ready to wield real creative power. So once you find your calling and you walk through that fire of apprenticeship, you build the foundation. You're ready. But the key thing to remember is that mastery isn't some finish line you cross. It's a process. It's a way of life that you continue to live, day in and day out. You know, when you boil it all down, we all face this one fundamental choice. We can take the passive route, just kind of drifting, letting circumstances control us. Or we can choose the path of mastery, the focused, purposeful path where we take command and start shaping our own reality. And you know what's so cool about this? This isn't some new age self-help idea. Green's point is that this path actually works with how our brains are wired. We evolved for millions of years to have deep, intense focus. Our survival depended on it. We are literally built for this. And so, this whole journey we've been on together, it all leads back to one simple, powerful question for you. If you could clear away all the noise, all the expectations, what's that inner voice that you need calling, trying to tell you? What is your life's task? You know, the ancient Greek poet Pindar said perfectly almost 3,000 years ago. The goal isn't to invent some new version of yourself. The journey is about discovery. It's about uncovering the person you are always meant to be. The path to mastery in the end is just the path back home to your truest self.